you start writing this before the Cold War, as it seems to have done, came back.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when did you start? And
I started thinking, okay, I'm going to write a thriller, and then the first thing you have to think about is like, what makes a thriller different from a mystery, right? They got many elements in common. The mystery, you need a couple of bodies lying around. You need some secrets. You need some pursuits. You need a detective sleuth, hero. But the main thing that distinguishes a mystery and a thriller is that in a thriller the protagonist is always in danger. Okay, and so knowing that that's true, you have to think about what sort of danger are they in, where does it come from. And at the time I was thinking about that was right around the time that the Magnitsky Sergei Magnitsky case was developing in Russia.
what was that one?
There was a man, I can't remember his name right at the moment. There was a man, Bill Bellows or something like that.
Bill Browder.
Bill Browder. Bill Browder was an early investor in post-Soviet Union Russia. He ran a hedge fund called Hermitage Capital, and he found out that a bunch of Russian tax collectors and police were trying to rip off $123 million in tax receipts from Hermitage Capital, and they did. And he hired Sergei Magnitsky to defend him and prosecute this. And Sergei Magnitsky, a couple months after he hired him, was arrested on trumped-up charges, detained, denied medical care, beaten, and died. And that was in 2009. And as a result of that, in 2012, Congress passed the Magnitsky Act, which basically penalized with sanctions many of the Russian officials that had been involved in that, which Putin hated because in his function as kind of a head of country / mob boss, he is supposed to extend a force called Krysha, which means roof in Russian, which means if you are in his group, you're protected. And he was unable to protect his group from this. So that's why there's been pushback on it from Putin ever since. Well, I looked at that and I went, well, Russia is not the threat in the same way that the Soviet Union was. But here's a whole new level of threat, which is the idea that you can have thug politics and thug economy on such a scale means to me that what if it doesn't stay in Russia? And if it doesn't stay in Russia, how does it migrate? Where does it go? How does it come to the U.S.? So that was the seed for writing The Blind Pool. And so once I started with that, it's like I just did a lot of research and a lot of things proceeded logically.
And as you watched news developments, did they make you alter the plot at all?
Not much.
Or what?
It didn't
as you said, you didn't start with the whole
Yeah.
plot in mind, so
No.
that didn't
No.
influence the way the story
Not
went.
too much. I mean, it's like I fantasized the idea that there would be an organization that would try to use far-right groups to break up Europe, and son of a gun, and it happened.
Yeah.
I fantasized the kind of kleptomaniac oligarchs that would have a subterranean economy, and son of a gun, here comes the Panama Papers and the Appleby Papers. And it's like, I didn't want to be that correct. I didn't want the evil that I fantasized to be occurring on such a grand scale, but hey, there it is.